Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Todd Phillips, from comedy Maverick to award-winning filmmaker Todd Phillips is an American film director, producer, and screenwriter whose career has evolved from outrageous comedies to some of the most talked-about psychological dramas of the modern era. Best known for the Hangover trilogy and the critically acclaimed Joker, Phillips has shaped a unique space for himself in Hollywood, one defined by bold risks, sharp humor, and an instinct for cultural impact. Early life and beginnings. Born Todd Philip Bunzl on December 20, 1970, in Brooklyn, New York. Phillips grew up on Long Island and developed an early fascination with movies, especially irreverent comedies from the 1970s and 1980s. He briefly attended New York University's Tisch School of the Arts before leaving to pursue filmmaking on his own terms. During his early years, he worked at an independent video store, where he gained access to a wide range of cinema. This eclectic exposure helped shape his sensibilities, part rebellious, part cinephile, and always curious about the extremes of human behavior. Documentary roots. Phillips' career began with documentary filmmaking. His first major project, Hated, G.G. Allin and the Murder Junkies, 1993, became a cult hit and remains one of the most notorious music documentaries ever released. He followed it with Frat House, 1998, an examination of American college fraternity culture that won an award at the Sundance Film Festival. Though controversial, these works revealed Phillips' fascination with subcultures and the darker sides of human identity, themes he would later revisit in narrative cinema. Breakthrough in comedy. In the early 2000s, Phillips shifted from documentaries to feature comedies. His first mainstream success came with Road Trip, 2000, a rambunctious college-themed road movie that established him as a director with sharp comedic instincts. He continued the momentum with Old School, 2003, a cult classic about middle-aged men returning to fraternity life. Starsky and Hutch, 2004, a comedic take on the classic TV series School for Scoundrels, 2006. Due date, 2010. But his most iconic comedic achievement arrived with The Hangover, 2009. The film became a cultural phenomenon, launching a successful trilogy and redefining modern R-rated comedy. Phillips' knack for chaotic humor, unpredictable characters, and sharp pacing made him one of the most successful comedy directors of his generation. Transition to mature themes. After years of commercial accomplishments in comedy, Phillips began seeking projects with deeper dramatic substance. This shift became evident with War Dogs, 2016, a darkly comedic true crime film blending satire and political commentary. However, the turning point of his career came in 2019 with Joker. Joker and critical acclaim. Joker marked a bold reinvention for Phillips. Co-written and directed by him, the film presented an alternative origin story for the infamous Batman villain, portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix. Rather than a superhero tale, Phillips crafted a gritty, psychological character study grounded in social decay, alienation, and mental illness. The film received wide critical acclaim, won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival, earned multiple Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director for Phillips, and became one of the highest-grossing R-rated films of all time. The follow-up, Joker, Folie d'Or, 2024, continued the story in a unique musical psychological format, further demonstrating Phillips' willingness to experiment with genre and narrative structure. Filmmaking style. Todd Phillips is known for exploring subcultures, from fraternities to arms dealers to Gotham's underclass. Dark humor mixed with realism, characters pushed to emotional or moral extremes. Stylized visual storytelling, especially in his later works challenging mainstream expectations, particularly the shift from comedy to psychological drama. Whether in comedy or drama, Phillips gravitates toward flawed, chaotic characters and environments that expose the absurdity or tragedy of modern life. Legacy and influence. Todd Phillips has one of the most unusual career trajectories in contemporary cinema. He has proven that a director can move effortlessly between genres, from outrageous comedy to haunting drama, without losing creative identity. His films have left a significant mark on popular culture, influencing the direction of adult-themed comedies and redefining what a comic book-based film can be. With a career still evolving, Phillips remains one of Hollywood's most unpredictable and courageous filmmakers, a storyteller who consistently challenges both himself and his audience. Todd Phillips. A deeper look at his career, mindset, and impact. Todd Phillips' career is one of Hollywood's most fascinating evolutions. While many directors find a single genre to master, Phillips has built a reputation for reinvention, moving from controversial documentaries to blockbuster comedies, then into award-winning, psychologically intense dramas. This versatility, combined with his instinct for tapping into cultural moods, makes him a standout filmmaker of his generation. Early influences and creative formation. Even from a young age, Phillips found himself drawn to films that pushed boundaries. He grew up watching edgy comedies, gritty cinema, and underground movies, influences that later surfaced in his own filmmaking style. His early environment shaped him in key ways. Comedy as rebellion. Phillips admired films that mixed humor with a sense of danger or disorder. Interest in social fringes. His documentaries focused on extreme personalities and outsider groups. DIY filmmaking spirit. Leaving film school forced him to learn by doing, a trait visible in his bold, risk-taking approach. This foundation explains why Phillips' later work, even in big Hollywood productions, retains an element of rawness and unpredictability. Documentary work. Seeds of a Darker Vision. Phillips' documentaries weren't just stepping stones. They laid the thematic groundwork that he would explore for decades. In Hated, he spotlighted a shock punk performer known for chaos and violence. In Frat House, he exposed hazing rituals and power dynamics within exclusive groups. These projects reveal Phillips' early interest in how people behave under pressure, why individuals latch onto identity groups, and how society creates both heroes and monsters, themes that echo powerfully in Joker. Rise in Hollywood. R-rated comedy king through the 2000s and early 2010s. Phillips became synonymous with outrageous, commercially successful comedies. His films from this period share identifiable traits. 1. Male camaraderie and chaos. Whether in Old School or The Hangover, Phillips focuses on groups of men thrown into absurd situations. The humor often stems from their immaturity, impulsiveness, and inability to handle consequences. 2. High-energy pacing. Phillips has a sharp sense of timing. His comedies move quickly from one unpredictable situation to the next. 3. Visual polish. Unlike many comedy directors, Phillips emphasizes cinematography, stylized settings, and carefully composed shots. Even in humor, he aims for cinematic quality. 4. Mixing heart with absurdity. Beneath the madness, his films often have emotional foundations: friendship, loyalty, insecurity, fear of adulthood. The massive success of the Hangover trilogy cemented his status as a major Hollywood brand. Ambition beyond comedy. As Phillips' comedy career flourished, he began showing interest in darker, more complex storytelling. War Dogs was the first major step into this direction. It blended humor with political critique, following two young men who become arms dealers for the U.S. military. The film allowed Phillips to explore Greed, moral ambiguity, corruption, the absurdity of global politics. These themes would later mature in Joker. Joker, reinvention and risk. Phillips' decision to make Joker surprised many. Known for comedies, he suddenly chose to reinterpret one of pop culture's most iconic villains, not as a comic book character, but as a deeply troubled man shaped by a collapsing society. His vision for Joker included a psychological character study rather than a superhero narrative, a grounded, realistic setting inspired by late 1970s urban America themes of alienation, societal neglect, and mental disorder, a slow-building performance-driven story. This bold approach
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.